This is Our View, brought to you by the proud members of the Washington Federation of State Employees, the people who work for you. The economic climate of the past few years has not been kind to the working poor. In fact, every month more workers and their families are joining this group. This is bringing a lot of new faces into our state's food banks.
Food banks, much like the rest of the country, are experiencing some changes, just like any other family in the country. We're impacted by rising fuel costs, we're impacted by rising heating costs, power bills, and most importantly, we're impacted by the rising cost of food. We do buy food, and our dollar just doesn't go as far as it used to. So what we're seeing here at the food bank is the same impact every family does. And the reason I know that's because more and more families are coming to the food bank all the time. And more of them have jobs. The dollars just aren't going as far. They're having trouble making ends meet. They're having the same traditional challenge of making tough choices. Do I pay a power bill this month? Do I pay a heating bill? Do I pay my credit card off? Or do I buy food? Food banks have some interesting challenges that we face, and it's similar to a private business. Much like any other retail store, most of our giving happens the fourth quarter of the year, the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, when most of us remember hunger as an issue, remember food banks, and we're very generous with our cash gifts and food donations. The challenge, of course, is what happens in January, what happens in June or July. The clients that need our help, they continue to come. But the resources we get, the resources from the community, decline sharply outside of that fourth quarter.
I'd definitely say gas prices are a damper. My insurance for my car payment is definitely a damper. My car payment itself, I have past medical bills that I'm still trying to pay off that my insurance didn't cover. I pay my rent's definitely a hurt right there. We get overpriced rent for where we live at, just because we live in Lacey or we live in Olympia. Utility bills are incredibly too high. We're still trying to recover from last winter, and it seems like this winter is coming up right now. This isn't always the best place where I like to go. I really don't feel that comfortable coming down here, but when you need food and you need something, I mean, this is a place that offers it to you.
So there are a lot of different ways you can help the food bank. And one of the ones is not as common or as typical as you might think. We know we're going to see canned soup and vegetables and fruit and things during a typical food drive, the non-perishable items. But we have some unique needs too that match the needs of our clients. We give out baby food and infant formula, not something we would typically see in a food drive. And it's real important that those items are not past their expiration dates, because we want to make sure to give those items to families at their peak nutritional value. So we want to make sure those products are new and coming in on a regular basis. We also serve a diverse clientele that includes diabetics. So we have a need for fruit that's in its own juice or packed in water. Have a need for low-salt vegetables, low-salt soups to help people meet that special dietetic requirement. We also serve food to people that are homeless, don't have a way to cook. So flip open cans of food. Foods that don't require cooking, like Vienna sausage or canned meat, are also very helpful. One of the things we realize at the food bank is that we have a very simple, straightforward mission. Our mission is to eliminate hunger in our community. We realize that hunger is a symptom of a much greater problem. It might be working families that don't have good livable wage jobs. It might be a health issue that's taking more money out of the family budget, but we're not here to address all the challenges a family faces. We're here to address a symptom of a much bigger problem, and that symptom is hunger. So we need the community support to help make sure that no one goes hungry, but as a nation we need to address a much bigger problem, and it's complex.
The Department of Labor and Industries is charged with upholding safety standards at our workplaces. And while doing this job, they offer services and training for employers who want to keep their places of business safe and productive.
I represent a small program within LNI called DOSH. It stands for the Division of Occupational Safety and Health. And our role is to look at workplace hazards and help people find solutions to the hazards. And the end result of that is people stay healthy in workplaces, employers have a productive workplace. So that's our main focus, and we do that a couple of ways. We do consultations for employers, and we also have a compliance enforcement group as well. Within each one of those groups we have health-related inspectors and consultants, and we have safety-related health inspectors and consultants. So what we do is we go into workplaces and we look at what people are actually doing and what their exposures are to chemicals and physical hazards, and we assess those hazards and we interact with the employer to help them with their safety program to eliminate the hazards or control them. So we're working on the prevention side of workplace safety and health. We do ergonomics work as well. We have lots of resources on our website that people don't know about and that are available. Things like DVDs, videos, some things are downloadable. We have written information that people can use at safety meetings. We have lots of consultants that can help people if you have questions about health and safety. We're pretty much there to help people directly with solving their hazard problems at work. It's a no-fee service. You don't have to pay anything to use the services. I understand that a lot of our services are provided through funds that come from workers' compensation and other programs as well. So, I mean, technically you can say that employers are already paying for it, so they might as well use it. And we have lots of great people who would just love to have someone call up LNI and say, can I have a consultant come down and look at my workplace and tell me what I need to do to make things safer for my employees.
It still isn't a work site where you'll find a lot of women, but more and more women are finding good-paying union jobs with benefits in the building trades. Here are several who found that a construction site is a good place to work while securing a future.
Well, there's lots of advantages besides the paycheck. I think, to be able to take care of yourself and not rely on, your husband or your, whatever, a man to help you through life. It's really nice to be independent and take care of yourself, I see a really good future with this. I think that, the schooling, being in the apprenticeship, and being able to learn as you, go along and work and get paid for it.
Okay, before I got into the apprenticeship with the operating engineers, I worked several minimum wage jobs and I was a single parent. And then it dawned on me one day that instead of having multiple jobs, I should perhaps have one really good job. What that got me in life is medical, dental, and vision for me and my entire family at no additional cost and no out-of-pocket expense for me. It gave me a wage that I could sustain a single parent household on, actually any household on, and a nice stable retirement plan that when I'm old enough that I can't work anymore, I'm going to be taken very well care of.
I think it's surprising how many people don't have misconceptions of what being in the building trades is, and they think I'm not strong enough, I'm not big enough, things like that. And there's so many different opportunities. I mean, you can run equipment. There's not a lot of physical activity there. It's not all picking up a shovel, and it's good work. It's fun. It's excellent pay, good retirement. It's a great move for your future.
Well, what I want to get out of this is how to become a good apprenticeship in taping, finishing. If that isn't the one, then I'm going to stick with that field and go with painting.
The best job I've ever had. I've done a lot of different things. I've been a CNA, a nursing assistant. I was, I've been in insurance. I've done a lot of, more female-dominated type jobs. And I've, always liked working around men. I used to help my dad change the oil in my car, and I don't know. I love doing it. There's something to be said for looking at something that you built and for building skyscrapers. I love it.
If you've done anything handy around the house, you've got skills that can be utilized. You can make a good living and give yourself a career. And more women ought to do it. There's lots of starter programs that you can join to get your hands wet. Best way to get the training is working, going to school at the same time, getting paid for it. You can't beat it.
While on the subject of non-traditional women, Ross Rieder has a piece of union history about just such a woman.
Anna Louise Strong remains one of the notable radicals in the history of the United States. During her Seattle years, 1910 to 1921, she won election as the lone woman on the school board, only to be recalled because of her overt sympathies with the industrial workers of the world, the IWW or Wobblies, and because of her pacifist stance during World War I. A journalist, she supported the working class in the Seattle General Strike of 1919 and promoted the new Soviet government. Born in Friend, Nebraska, she was the daughter of middle-class liberals active in missionary work and the Congregational Church. An unusually gifted child, she raced through grammar and high school, then studied languages in Europe. She graduated from Bryn Mawr, did graduate work at Oberlin, and at age 23 earned her Ph.D. from the University of Chicago. In the year of her election, 1916, the Everett Massacre occurred. Strong was hired as a stringer by the New York Evening Post to report on the bloody conflict between the IWW and the Army of Armed Guards hired by Everett mill owners to keep them out of town. At first an impartial observer, she soon became an impassioned and articulate spokesperson for workers' rights. Strong became more openly associated with the liberal press, writing forceful pro-labor articles and promoting the new Soviet government. On February 6, 1919, 2 days before the beginning of the Seattle General Strike, she proclaimed in her famous editorial for the Seattle Union Record, "We are undertaking the most tremendous move ever made by labor in this country, a move which will lead no one knows where." The strike shut down the city for 4 days and then ended as it had begun, peacefully and with its goals still undefined. Disillusioned with the erosion of the labor movement, Strong had nothing to keep her in Seattle. The next year, when Lincoln Steffens lectured in Seattle about his trip to Russia, Strong accepted his advice and went to Moscow. For several years, she supported herself as a foreign correspondent for radical American newspapers. In 1958, at age 72, she moved to China, where she was one of few Westerners to gain the admiration of Mao Zedong. She remained there until her death in 1970. This information is adapted from Mildred Andrews' HistoryLink.com essay.
You've been watching Our View, brought to you by the members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. We remind you, when you accept a paycheck for your hard work, you don't give up your rights. Thank you for watching, and please join us again.